Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I have a brand new pick-a-pile for you guys. Today we are asking the question, what will my future children be like? I figured this would be a really fun one to do. Also, if you guys already have kids and you came to this video, maybe this is just simply like a confirmation kind of a thing, like just a little check-in to see if what comes through in the cards is actually how your kids are, or maybe your kids are really young and you want to see like what kind of person they grow up to wind up being. And like I said, if you don't have any kids at all, we're going to find out. We're going to dig in here and find out what your kids are going to be like, which is why I chose 4 different Beanie Babies for today's reading, because I thought it would just be so much fun and so childlike. So yeah, if you know anything about the 90s, you know how these things went like hotcakes and were so popular. And I still have a ton of my Beanie Babies. They're probably not in the best condition, but I still have like a ton of these guys. So pile number 1, we have Bongo the monkey. So he's missing his tag. He still has like the little thing in his ear, but this is Bongo. I remember when I was in high school or whatever, like this one guy, he was absolutely obsessed with Bongo. He loved him so much, which is just the most random memory, but anyway, yeah, so that's Bongo, pile number 1. Pile number 2 is Lucky the ladybug. She's so cute. Her tag is actually protected in a little seal. But yeah, we have Lucky the ladybug for pile number 2, if you're feeling lucky, if you like ladybugs. Then we have Nuts the squirrel, who doesn't have his tag in his ear anymore, but he has like a little other kind of tag. It still has like the birth date on there and everything, January 21st, 1996. So yes, this is Nuts the squirrel. He's nuts about nuts. Be like a squirrel trying to get a nut to move your butt. What song is that from? Anyway, yeah, and pile number 4 is the infamous Garcia the bear. So this one was obviously named after Garcia, and his birth date is August 1st, 1995. So here is Garcia. And those are your 4 different pile options. Timestamps are down below, and we're going to get started here with pile number 1, our Bongo group. Hi, pile 1. If you chose Bongo the monkey as your Beanie Baby, then this is going to be the reading for you to find out what kind of kids you're going to have. All right, this is going to be a fun one. So we're going to start off here with the ice cream oracle, because what kid doesn't love ice cream? We have blueberry, peace, meditation, acceptance. Pumpkin spice, harvest, prosperity, fortune. Cookies and cream, guilty pleasures, indulgence, temptation. And banana walnut, cracking codes, learning, observing. And it looks like Bongo is observing the cards. All right, from Loving Words from Jesus, because in my opinion, a Bible verse a day helps keep the bad vibes away. You guys got, he that believeth on me, the works that I do, shall he do also, and greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father. John 14:12. From the Moonology deck, if I can grab the cards here, you guys have Full Moon in Leo, don't let your pride get in the way. A fiery climax approaches, Full Moon in Aries. And the energy is gaining momentum, Waxing Moon. And finally, from the Divine Dog Oracle, because, kids also love dogs. Kids, dogs, and ice cream, it all kind of goes together. You guys have expression, speak your truth. Choice, get off the fence. Humility, bow down. All right, you guys. So, for your child or children, I mean, you guys could wind up having more than one. So, this could reference qualities for several different kids, or it could just be about one kid. But, either way, we're going to look at this here and find out. So, number one, the first thing that really stands out to me is your kid may actually wind up being a fire sign, because we have full moon in Leo and full moon in Aries coming out. So your kid may wind up being a fire sign, and if not a fire sign, they simply could kind of have like a fiery personality. There could be times that your kid may wind up having a lot of pride and ego stand in their way, and they could wind up having a little bit of a short fuse, a little bit of a short temper, where they're easily set off about certain things. So, this fireness inside of them, it can be a positive in terms of being very passionate about certain things, but, if it's something not good that they're being passionate about, that may be something you may need to work on with them. Because you guys also have humility here for bow down, which would obviously be the opposite of don't let your pride get in the way of pride in general, So that may actually be one of the lessons that your kid may have to learn throughout life. They may have to learn to drop the ego, to drop their pride, and to, learn how to be a little bit more humble, kind of learn how to not necessarily always get their way, but, that's okay, obviously. Also, your child is definitely going to be very expressive. They're going to speak their truth, which makes sense with all this fire energy that's coming through. They're going to have no problem holding back with that. They may not necessarily have tact when they say it all the time, but they're definitely going to speak their mind. So good luck with this child when they're a teenager, that's for sure. And also, they may be the kind of person who may just, cave into their guilty pleasures and be a little overly indulgent about things. Hopefully there's nothing like addictions or anything like that run in your family, but if it does, that could indicate, they may wind up adapting to one of those addictions, but doesn't necessarily have to be an addiction. But, this could be just part of that fiery passion inside of them that, when they're into something, they're really into it and they really indulge. And also here with this energy is gaining momentum. So, once again, I feel like that definitely ties into your child having this fiery energy here, like they're just full of fire and sugar and spice and everything nice. And, when they want to go for something, they really go for it. So the good thing is, if they have certain dreams and goals, Shadow, no, stop. If they have certain dreams and goals and passions, my dog is feeling passionate right now. Hey, can you stop? I'm trying to give a reading here for the people. Please don't be interrupted. Go back to your bed now. Come on, go back to your bed. Back to your bed. I'm sorry, he's being a little crazy right now himself. Anyway, but yeah. So, if this is towards something like positive, if this is a dream that they really want to go chase after that's positive, that could be a really good thing. But, if it's something that's not so great, that's a negative thing, an issue you're going to have to work through with your child. But the good thing is I don't think they're all just going to be, fire and sass and passion and all this other stuff, because I do see this more deeper grounding energy within them as well. Or this could be in regards to a different child. Maybe one child is going to be all fire and passion, and maybe the other child is going to be this. But there's another aspect here of, being very prosperous, having good fortune. So, regardless of what happens with your child, they are going to succeed in life. They are going to overcome obstacles. They are going to reap a harvest. They are going to go through seasons where they are planting things, and they will eventually reap that harvest. And they do have this internal peace inside of them. So, regardless of all the fire and stuff, they are able to slow down and meditate and find some peace. And by doing that, I believe that's what's going to bring them into a place of being abundant and having a harvest of prosperity. It kind of curbs a little bit of that heat and that passion that they have inside of them, which is so strong. They may be a little bit indecisive about things at times. That may happen occasionally, but I think that you as a parent are going to be there to help them and guide them and lead them into making the right choices in their life, so they will be able to make the best choices as possible as they grow older and they become adults. We also have cracking codes, learning, and observing. And I do believe that that's part of the reason why they're going to be able to make good choices is, they're really going to observe other people around them making choices in their life, especially adults when they're younger. And that's really going to help shape for them how they're going to make choices as, they get older and they wind up getting into more complicated situations themselves where they're, they have to make serious decisions about things. I also see this as they may actually excel in school. When I think of cracking codes, I think of kids learning how to code in school, because that's what they do nowadays. They teach kids how to code. When I was in school, when I was growing up, we didn't have that. We didn't have coding in school or anything, but they offer that now. So your kid may actually be really good at computer programming or coding. Even if it's not anything dealing with the computer, though, just, when they're in school in general, they may excel and they may be a really good student because, we have learning and observing. So they may be really, really good at that. So you may not have to, really fight them to do their homework or to raise their grades or anything like that. So that's definitely a positive thing for sure. So yeah, your child is going to be a little bit of a spitfire, but I think they're going to have overall a good head on their shoulders, and they're definitely going to be able to reap good things in their life because they're going to, be really good at learning a lot of things, learning how to do that, learning how to find peace and acceptance in their life about certain things, learning how to make good choices, eventually, dropping their pride and adapting into a more humble attitude probably as they grow and they learn in life. Okay, we're going to ask just a couple more questions here, not dealing with the cards, but I'm going to pull out my pendulum here, and we're going to ask a couple of questions to the pendulum. And I'm going to be quiet while the pendulum is going, you guys, because I don't want to influence the movement of it by me talking, because I feel like when I talk I wind up accidentally moving and I don't want to do that. But we're going to ask number one, for pile number one, will they have children? Let's just find out if you're going to have children, period. Okay, it's saying yes. You guys will have children. All right, now the next thing we're going to ask it, since, we didn't know if this was just about one child or multiple children or what it was, please tell us for pile number 1, how many children will they have? Give us a number, please. I literally hear my dog making a noise right now, and it's so distracting while I'm doing this. I hope you guys don't hear it, because I can hear it. It's so loud. Okay, it's moving towards... It's going like back and forth between the 2 and the 3. So for some of you guys, you may wind up having 3 kids. For others of you, you may wind up having just 2. So either 2 or 3. Yeah, depends on who you are, but it's 2 or 3. Shadow, really? Can you stop making that noise? I'm sorry. I don't know if you were just hearing him like kind of making like a whining, groaning noise. But so annoying, I can totally hear it. Okay, we're going to pull out a couple of paper tags here from my paper tag holder and see if we can get any other clues about your child, any other hints, any other keywords. Let's see what comes up. Okay, so we have summer, which tells me that it could mean a couple of things. You could either conceive this child in the summer, they could be born during the summer, or there could just be some special event connected to your child dealing with summer. And we have adventure. So I think your child is definitely going to be up for adventure, which makes sense with their fiery and passionate personality. They are going to be so much fun to hang out with. We also have fitness. So your child, they may be really into fitness as a part of that adventure thing. They may like going outside and playing outside as a kid. Maybe as they grow up and they go older, they may like going camping or hiking and that kind of thing outside. So fitness will definitely be important to your child. We have Virgo. I know Virgo is not a fire sign, but your child could be a Virgo. We have months. I don't know exactly what this time reference could be. I mean, if you're pregnant right now, maybe you're going to have your child in a few months, or maybe you're going to get pregnant in a few months, but we have months. And we have travel. So your child is probably going to be a little bit of a traveler too, which makes sense with the adventure thing. So they probably like going on adventures, like physically leaving town, whether that means getting on a plane, getting on in a car and taking a road trip. They're probably really going to have that travel bug. So that's what I see going on for you guys and your future children. I hope that resonated and made sense for you. If the message did not flow, of course, just let it go. But if it did make sense, please let me know and leave a comment down below. Otherwise, leave this video a big thumbs up. That definitely helps me out a lot. And feel free to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know of future videos when they are on the way. Otherwise, I hope you guys have an amazing day. Keep sparkling. I am sending you lots of hugs and much love. Hi, Pile 2. If you chose Lucky the Ladybug, then this is going to be the reading for you. And we're going to find out what kind of kid you're going to have. All right. Starting off here with the Ice Cream Oracle, because what kid doesn't love ice cream? Just makes the most sense here. We have coffee, adrenaline, motivation, activity. Candy loaded, social gatherings, celebrations, special events. White chocolate raspberry, sensibility, decorum, elegance. And chocolate vanilla swirl, complementary, opposites, fairness, equality. From Loving Words from Jesus, because in my opinion, a Bible verse a day helps keep the bad vibes away, you guys got You Are the Light of the World, Matthew 5:14. From the Moonology deck, if I can grab it. Cover your cards. Thank you. From the Moonology deck, you guys got Bring Love into the Situation, New Moon in Aquarius. Work Through Your Fears, New Moon in Scorpio. And Conclusions are within reach, Full Moon in Eclipse. And finally, from the Divine Dog Oracle, Divine Dogs of Wisdom, you guys got, because dogs also make sense with kids, Awakening, Eyes Wide Open. Empathy, I see and hear you. And Rest, take a time out. Okay, so here's what I see going on for you guys and your future child. I feel like your kid is, number one, the first thing that I was picking up right off the bat when I saw Candy Loaded come out. Not that your kid is going to be on some kind of crazy sugar high, having a ton of candy, although that is possible, you never know. When I see this card with social gatherings, celebration, special events, I see a couple of things. Number one, I see that this child coming into your life is going to be a huge celebration. It's going to be like this long-awaited thing that you have been waiting for so long, and you guys are going to be so excited and just celebrate and be so happy when this child arrives. But aside from that, I also see that like your child is going to be kind of like a social butterfly, you know, with social gatherings, celebration, special events. I see your child as being like the kind of kid that's just able to make friends with anyone and everyone, like all walks of life. It doesn't matter if the other kids at school are black or white, male or female, rich or poor. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where their family came from, what their background is. They're just going to be able to make friends with everyone, and they're going to want to play with everybody on the playground. You know, they're going to be that kid that everybody likes at school, and they're just going to really get along and be really good at socializing with others, which is just, you know, that's awesome. That's a super special thing. You know, they're probably going to be very involved in after school activities and things like that. And yeah, we have chocolate vanilla swirl, complementary, opposites, fairness, and equality. So like I said, your kid is going to make friends with everybody. You know, it doesn't matter if, you know, they're black or white, like quite literally with the chocolate and vanilla. They're going to treat everybody fair. They're going to treat everybody with kindness. And this is probably going to be a quality that you will have instilled in them from a very young age. But yeah, they're going to be very fair, very kind towards everybody. And, you know, because of that, it's going to make them kind of come across with this elegance and sensibility about them, not in like a high and almighty kind of lofty way or anything, but, you know, people are going to respect them because they respect others, basically. So that's definitely what I see from this card. And no matter what it is that they're doing in their life, they're always going to have energy. They're always going to have adrenaline and motivation. So I really see them as somebody who's going to be pushing through towards their dreams, towards their goals, towards their passions in life from a very early age, even if it's just like what they're doing at school or whatever, working on some kind of project, they're going to have the energy and the drive to really work on it and do it. So I definitely see that. Let's see, with bring love into the situation, once again, with your child kind of being this social butterfly that gets along with everybody, I feel like they're going to be the ones who are going to bring love into the situation. So where there is conflict, where there are disagreements, where people don't see eye to eye, I feel like your child is going to step in and kind of be like that mediator, bringing in the fairness and equality, and they're going to be able to bring love to both sides of the party and, really help balance the scales. They could wind up being a Libra. They could wind up being someone who's all about fairness and equality, because that's, it's kind of a Libra thing. I'm a Libra myself, so I get that. But that doesn't mean that they're never going to have like any fears or any challenges that they need to work through in life, because we all do. So there may be certain fears that your child will have to face and go through in life, but once again, we have adrenaline here, activity, motivation. So they're going to be able to work through them. They're going to be able to work through whatever fears do come up against them. They're going to be able to conquer them, because the conclusions to whatever their fears may be will be in reach. So, it doesn't matter if they think a monster is hiding under their bed from a young age, or somebody broke their heart as a teenager, or maybe they didn't get the job that they wanted after they graduated college. It doesn't matter. They're going to find those conclusions. They're going to conquer those fears and make it through. And I think one of the reasons why they're really going to make it through is because, they are like that friendly, outgoing person who, really treats everyone with fairness and kindness and loyalty and love. And, who doesn't want to be around a person who's like that? Who doesn't want to give that kind of person, like, a chance at life, a chance to, make a positive difference? But I do see your child as being someone who is going to be awakened. They're definitely going to be spiritually connected. They're going to be spiritually awake, which is probably another reason why they are able to treat others so well, because, they can see the value in everybody. So they're definitely going to be awakened, and they're probably going to be an empath. So, that's going to be just another reason why they're able to connect with people so well, is they're really able to see and understand others and what they're thinking and what they're feeling really, really well, but not in like a crazy, spooky, scary kind of a way, but in a way that, makes the people that they're around feel comfortable and feel good. And and just as much as your kid is going to push through their life with adrenaline, activity, and motivation, they will take time to rest at times, and they definitely should. They'll find that balance between working hard and having rest, which is definitely a good thing. And when I see you are the light of the world, I see that as that's how people are going to see them. They're going to carry so much light inside of their soul, inside of their being, as they're giving back to others and being there for others. So many people are going to see them as a light in the darkness, which is an absolutely beautiful thing and makes sense with them, being awakened and being an empath and just really being there for people. This could be the kind of child that, grows up to like maybe work as like a social worker of some kind, maybe a life coach or something like that, just really helping people and being there for people. Because I can definitely feel that your child is going to be very passionate and just have like this huge, huge heart and be like this big teddy bear that you just want to hug. Okay, we're going to ask the pendulum a question now. A couple of them, and I'm going to be as quiet as possible while asking these questions, because I feel like when I talk I wind up moving the pendulum, which I don't want to do. I don't want to influence it. So we are going to ask for pile number 2, will they wind up having a child or children? I'm sorry if I'm quiet for the moment. I just want to make sure I'm not influencing it. Okay, we have a yes. Yes, you're going to have a child. All right, for pile number 2, please give us a number. How many children will they have? I'm sorry, I'm really quiet, you guys. I just want to make sure I'm not like influencing the number. It's working on it. I just want it to get closer to where it's going so I can give you guys an accurate number here. And not just kind of guess, oh, it's between whatever and whatever. All right, it looks like it's leaning pretty heavily on the 3. Yeah, it's leaning heavily on the 3. So you guys are going to have 3 kids. So this could be in reference to just one of them, or it could be a combination of qualities for all 3, but it is coming through as 3 children. Okay, we're going to pull out a few paper tags here from the paper tag holder. Get a few more little hints as to what's going on with your child or children, or who knows, maybe you already have 1 child and you're going to have 2 more, or maybe you have 2 and this is like the 3rd one we're referencing right now. So, you know, take it as it resonates. It's going to be a little bit different for everybody. All right, so we have, ooh, you guys got a lot that came out. Okay, so we have cold here. So I definitely don't see your child as somebody who would be like a cold kind of a person, like a cold personality. So maybe it could mean a couple things. Maybe they're born during a time of the year when it's cold, or maybe they just like the colder weather as opposed to like summertime. We also have education. So I feel like your kid is going to be pretty good at school. They're probably going to excel in their education. They may even go on to, you know, pursue like whatever higher level of education. You know, maybe they'll even go beyond getting like a bachelor's. Maybe they'll get a master's or a PhD. But either way, education is going to be very important to them. We have a no, so I'm not really sure what the no is in regards to, because we already asked if you'll have kids, and we got a yes, and this is about your child, but something dealing with a no, I don't know what, but we have games, so this child likely likes to play games, you know, especially when they're little, not like head games or anything crazy like that, but, you know, they may like playing board games or video games, or you know, just like getting out there and playing whatever silly games that kids play on the playground and stuff like that. We have travel, so I feel like your kid is going to have the travel spirit inside of them. They're probably going to enjoy taking trips, taking little vacations and stuff, whether it's by air or by road trip, so they're definitely going to enjoy traveling. We have months, so this could mean that, if you're pregnant right now, maybe you're going to give birth in a few months to this child, or perhaps you're going to conceive this child in a few months. We have Aries, so this baby may be in Aries. And we have reunion. So I feel like for some of you guys, this child may wind up coming through like a reunion between you and your special person, as funny as that sounds. This may not necessarily apply to everybody, but it could be a little bit of a reunion baby. We have friends, and like I said, I feel like your kid's going to be this social butterfly, so this totally makes sense. Your kid is going to have a lot of friends. People are going to love them. And we have Scorpio, so there's also a chance that your child could be a Scorpio. All right, you guys, that's what I see what's going on for you, dealing with what kind of kids you're going to have. And I hope that made sense for you. If the message did not flow, of course, just let it go. But if it did make sense, please let me know and leave a comment down below. Also, give this video a big thumbs up. That definitely helps me out a lot. Feel free to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know of future videos when they are coming your way. Otherwise, I hope you guys have an amazing day. Keep sparkling. I am sending you lots of hugs and much love. Hi, Pile 3. If you chose Nuts the Squirrel here, the Beanie Baby, then this is going to be the reading for you to find out what kind of child you're going to have. All right, you guys. We're going to kick it off here with the ice cream oracle, because what kid doesn't love ice cream? It's a perfect thing to try here. We have mint chocolate chip, endurance, determination, and fortitude. Coconut, protection, purification, boundaries. Grape, prophecies, spirits, magic. And blue moon, dream, imagine, create. From Loving Words from Jesus, because in my opinion, a Bible verse a day helps keep the bad vibes away, you guys got, come unto me, all you that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Matthew 11:28. Okay, from the Moonology deck, you guys got Hold Your Vision, Fixed Moon. Expect a powerful change, New Moon in Eclipse. And Prosperity Lies Ahead, New Moon in Taurus. And finally, from the Divine Dogs of Wisdom, because just like ice cream goes really well with dogs, or goes really well with dogs. Well, maybe not necessarily dogs, but ice cream goes well with kids. Dogs go really well with kids, although there is special dog ice cream out there. I know because I actually have some in my fridge for my dog. But yes, the Divine Dogs of Wisdom, kids and ice cream and dogs, it all goes well together. We have vulnerability, the strength to show yourself. Guidance, help is on the way. And self-worth, love what you see. All right, you guys, here's what I see for your child coming up in the future. Number one, I see your child as someone who is just very, very strong in knowing who they are. And I feel like there's a lot of thanks to be given to you for that, because you have probably nurtured and loved this child to help them really have that confidence in knowing who they are. Because the first thing we have here is self-worth, love what you see, and I do believe that your child is going to have an incredible amount of self-worth and self-love on the inside. But not in an unhealthy way, not in a conceited, full of themselves kind of way, but they are truly and genuinely going to love themselves, and they are going to understand the value of that and how important that is. So your child is going to be far from someone who is insecure. They're going to be confident in themselves, and they're going to love themselves, and therefore that's going to make them a fantastic person for getting out there and loving others. Because if you love yourself, you will definitely be able to love others. And I see your child as someone who is going to help lead and guide the way for many others. Because your child is going to, have that internal love for themselves, they're going to be able to spread that outward and show love up upon others and lead them and guide them in whatever it is that they need to do, whether it's just helping out a friend in need, or maybe in their chosen career path, whatever they decide to do as a job, and maybe they become a leader in their field and really help others rise to the occasion. So they're definitely going to be someone who is going to lead and be able to give guidance. And they're probably going to be really good at doing that because they've probably been able to glean onto the guidance that you give them as they're growing up and they're learning and they're, understanding the way the world works and everything. So they're going to really benefit from your guidance, so they in turn can go out into the world and give guidance to others. And they're going to be very vulnerable, but in a beautiful way, not in like a victim kind of a way. They're going to show themselves, and that's going to be a true strength. And once again, I think that comes down a lot to their self-worth. They're going to know their worth, they're going to know their value, and because of that, they're going to know how to be vulnerable. They're going to know how to have an open heart. They're not going to be one of those people who, shield and protect themselves and become like the ice king or the ice queen. They're going to be very open, they're going to be very real with their emotions, and they're going to be perfectly honest with people when they tell people how they feel, whether it's towards the positive or towards the negative. So they're just going to be super authentic, transparent, real people who are going to be vulnerable in every way, shape, and form. However, like I said, they're not going to be pushovers. They're not going to let people walk all over them, because we do have protection, purification, and boundaries with coconut. So even though they're going to be vulnerable, even though they are going to wear their heart on their sleeve to a certain degree, it's not going to be to the point where it's going to hurt them, because they are going to understand and they are going to know where to put up appropriate boundaries, where that they're actually needed, and they become a beneficial kind of thing for them. So with this balance here of having boundaries and yet still being vulnerable at the same time, I think that they're able to find the balance between the two, because they have the self-love on the inside in order to do it. They wouldn't be able to have that self-love otherwise. Without the self-love, they couldn't do these things. But because they do, they're going to have the perfect balance between the two. And because of that, they're going to be very prosperous. Whatever they put their mind to, they're going to succeed in. They're going to be very successful, I believe, in both their career and in their relationships and just their dreams and goals in general. They're going to have a lot of endurance and determination and fortitude inside of them. Once again, I believe these are going to be qualities that you're going to teach them and ingrain in them since a very young age. And, they're going to understand the value in that for sure. And because of that, they're going to be able to hold their vision, to go for their dreams, to go for what they want. And we also have, dream, imagine, create. I believe that your child is definitely going to be somewhat of a dreamer, not in a way where it's like it's unrealistic and they can't make it happen, and not in a way where they're just going to sit around and talk about it. Like, I believe they're genuinely going to go for it for sure, but they're going to be the kind to break molds and make that dream a reality. You know, they're going to be very creative. You know, they could be creative artistically, musically. You know, you could have someone who may want to go into the entertainment business or something like that, because, you know, they're just going to have this creative mind. They also could even wind up going into this kind of work. You know, they could be someone who may wind up becoming a tarot reader or something, because I do believe that, you know, another reason why your child is going to be able to go for their dreams and why they're going to be able to tap into that self-worth so much within their life is because they're going to be spiritually connected. You know, we have spirits here, so I believe that they're going to be very spiritually connected. They're going to have a relationship with God, and they're going to be using that spiritual side to help others. So, you know, if it's not something creative like music or entertainment or something like that that they wind up going into, they could wind up getting into spiritual work such as this, you know, doing readings or healings for people, stuff like that. But I think that your child is definitely going to bring a lot of powerful change into this world, which is going to be needed for sure. You know, the last pile that I just did, you know, they had a different Jesus card where it was about them being the light of the world. But I kind of get that light in the world kind of feeling for you guys as well. And with your Jesus card of "Come unto me, all you that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest," I see that as, you know, when they do need to take a break, when the world does become too much for them and they do feel overworked and stressed out and everything, they are going to know that they need to, like, take that time and take that breather and take that rest and recharge their battery and reconnect with God. Like, they're going to know how important that is in order for them to keep going in their life, in order for them to, you know, really thrive and be successful. And honestly, you guys, when it comes down to all this stuff, whether it's being vulnerable or helping lead others and guide others, or, you know, having those solid, good boundaries, or having that endurance to get things done, or being creative and being a big dreamer, the only reason why they're honestly going to be able to do any of this and hold their vision is because they are going to know who they are on the inside. They are going to love themselves. They're going to know their worth, and they're going to know their value. And honestly, that's going to be because of you. It's going to be because of you as a parent, because you are going to teach them, you know, from the moment they're out of the womb, you're going to teach them that. And they are going to make such a huge difference in the world because of that. So give yourself a pat on the back as a parent, because, like, that's one of the most important things you could possibly ever teach a child, you know, to get them on that right track right off the bat in life. Okay, we're going to ask the pendulum a couple of questions and pull a couple of tags from the paper tag holder, and then we're going to wrap this up. I'm going to be quiet while I have the pendulum go, just because I don't want to accidentally influence it. Shadow? No. I don't want to accidentally influence it by moving when I talk. And hopefully Shadow doesn't influence it either. Can you be quiet? Shh. Be quiet right now, okay? Oh, there are people in the hallway. That's why he's freaking out. Okay, we're going to try and do this, hopefully, without any interruptions. Okay, for pile 3, will they have any children? We have a yes. Okay. For pile 3, how many children will they have? Damn, you guys are getting a high number here. It's moving back and forth between the 4 and the 5, which is like a buttload of kids. So yeah, it's saying you're going to have either 4 or 5 children. I think it depends on who you are. For some of you, it could be 5. For some of you, it could be 4. It's going more so towards the 5 than anything else, though. So I'm going to say 5. 5 kids. That's like a lot of kids. So this reading could be about just one of those children, or it could be like a combination of the 5 children. And, you know, who knows? This doesn't necessarily have to be like 5 kids by birth. You know, maybe you're going to wind up adopting. That could be one of the reasons why this child is so well-rounded, because, you know, if you yourself adopt and you bring in other children into your world, you know, who weren't necessarily wanted, but you bring them in, that could be like a huge thing for them to learn in terms of love. Or, you know, maybe this is going to be a blended family where, you know, it's going to be like you and the person that you're with. Maybe you're going to have children from a previous marriage and they're going to have children from a previous marriage, and you guys are going to put all those kids together. That can be a possibility as well. So, you know, take it as it resonates. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to pop out a litter. Just so you know. Unless you want to pop out a litter, then, you know, by all means, pop out a litter. Who knows? Maybe you're going to have IVF, and maybe you are going to wind up having a litter because of that. I don't know. But that is the number of kids that came out is 5. That kind of even surprised me that came out as that many. I was like, whoa, that's a lot of kids. Okay, so now we're going to pull a few paper tags from our little paper tag holder. See if we can get any other clues, any other keywords here as what's going on with your child. So let's see what we get, you guys. Let's get at least one more. At least one more. Because that's only 2. That's not a lot. All right, there. Now we've got 5. We've got 5. Maybe 1 for each kid. Okay. So we have pets. So when I see pets, you know, I'm thinking, you know, your child may be a big animal lover. You guys may have pets that are in your house. So yeah, pets are a huge factor. We also have yes. So I know we didn't ask necessarily a yes or no question here, but you know, if you know what this yes means for you, you know, here it is. Take it. Either way, yes, you're going to have kids. We have days. So something could be happening days from now, just days. Maybe you're like seriously, ridiculously pregnant right now and you're about to give birth any day now. Or maybe you're going to get pregnant in just a few days. Either way, something dealing with a few days from now, dealing with your kids. Or maybe you're just going to get a sign of something dealing with your kids. And this is funny because we have baby making on this side. So maybe in a few days, you're going to be making this baby. You have 5 kids. I guess that makes sense. You're going to be getting pretty busy. That just makes me laugh. That's just funny. Okay, so baby making and days. We have politics. So maybe this child is going to get into politics at some point in their life, which, you know, that could be possible too if they're giving a lot of guidance to people. You know, maybe they're going to step into like one of the most ultimate leadership roles of all. You know, maybe your child's going to become president. Who knows? And we have Capricorn, so your child could be a Capricorn. We have spirituality, and like I said, you know, with the prophecies, spirits, and magic card, I definitely believe your child is going to be spiritual. They're going to have a connection with God, for sure. That's going to be one of the most important relationships that they have in their life. And we have Aquarius, so your child may wind up being an Aquarius. One of your 5. And one of your 5 could be a Libra. So we got several different signs here, which makes sense if you're going to have several kids. And we have pop culture. So your kids, like I said, they may wind up working in the entertainment industry, something revolving around pop culture. It could be music, it could be acting, it could be modeling. You know, it could be a whole bunch of different things. It could be just covering pop culture, maybe, you know, like a host to a TV show or something like that. So there's a lot of different things that could be pop culture. But yeah, that's what I see going on for you guys and your future child/children. I hope that this reading made sense for you. If the message did not flow, of course, just let it go. But if it did hit home for you, please let me know and leave a comment down below. Otherwise, give this video a big thumbs up. That definitely helps me out a lot. And feel free to subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you know of future videos when they are on the way. Otherwise, I hope you guys have an amazing day. Keep sparkling. I am sending you lots of hugs and much love. Hi, Pile 4. If you chose Garcia, the bear, the Beanie Baby bear, then this is going to be the reading for you to find out what kind of child you're going to have. I'm so glad I made it to you guys because it's like just after 7 p.m. over here right now and starting to get dark, and I kept looking at the camera and I was like, is it light enough? Is it light enough? Do I need to turn on my ring light? But I think we're okay. I think we can still do this here without meaning to turn on the ring light. I like using natural light as much as possible if I can. So anyway, first up for you guys is the Ice Cream Oracle, because, you know, kids and ice cream, they kind of go hand in hand. And you guys got abundance, the fig, abundance, fertility, and expansion. Rainbow, self-expression, diversity, and pride. Pistachio, emotional healing, independence, and responsibility. And kiwi strawberry, youthfulness, optimism, exuberance. All right. From Loving Words from Jesus, you guys got, blessed are they that hear the word of God and keep it. Luke 11:28. Because in my opinion, a Bible verse a day helps keep the bad vibes away. From the Moonology deck, you guys have meditate and contemplate, new moon in Pisces. The end of a tough cycle approaches, full moon in Capricorn. And a time for healing, balsamic moon. And finally, from the Divine Dog Oracle, because, you know, just like ice cream goes hand in hand with kids, so do dogs. You guys have listening, pay close attention. Companionship, through thick and thin. And anger. Feel the heat, then turn it down. Okay. So here is what I see for you guys dealing with your future child. Okay, so I kind of see with you guys, your kid's going to be going through some like ups and downs in life. And here's why I say that. Let's see. We have 2 cards that came out with healing. We have pistachio, emotional healing, independence, and responsibility. and a time for healing, balsamic moon. So I feel like your child is going to be pretty sensitive to a lot of things, and I don't feel like things are going to be happening on purpose to your child to hurt them, but I feel like when your child is here on this earth, they may have a lot of lessons that they have to go through, a lot of things that they have to experience. That just like wounding and healing may be a part of their path. It may be a part of their mission. It may be a part of their reason why they're here, and things that they need to learn and grow and work on, because there's going to be a lot of healing that they're going to be needing to do. And like I said, I don't think this is anything that, that they've done on purpose or that has happened to them on purpose. I just feel like this is a part of the reason why they're here. They're here to kind of learn about healing and what that looks like. So they're definitely going to be very sensitive to a lot of things. They may come across some unfair, unreasonable situations that don't make any sense to anybody, but they're just things that they may have to go through and experience. There are times that these experiences may make them very angry. Like I definitely picked that up, with the healing cards coming out. I feel like anger may be some of the things that they need to heal. However, that's definitely not going to last forever, because we do have the end of a tough cycle approaches, full moon in Capricorn. So yes, they're going to have to go through some trials and tribulations. They're going to have to go through some lessons and hardships, but it's not going to last forever. Those things are only going to be for a season, and they're there so they can learn how to heal, so they can learn how to grow. It's learning experiences is what it's going to come down to, but those things are temporary. And when they come out of it, things are going to get better. And I think one of the ways that they're going to come out of that and things are going to improve is out of their anger, they're going to start listening. They're going to start listening to people around them, people who really have their best interest at heart and who want to help them. And they're also going to start listening to that higher power. They're going to start listening to God. And they're going to learn how to meditate and contemplate. And, through meditation, they're going to be able to listen to God and connect to, that higher power, spirit, the divine, whatever you want to call it. They're going to listen to that through meditating, and it's through doing this that your child is going to be able to make room for this healing to happen coming out of that anger, and that will ultimately end any tough cycles of difficulty that they wind up going through in life. But they should always know that they are not alone. I believe that there are going to be a lot of people around them in their life who are going to love them and care about them. People who are going to be their ride or dies, through thick and thin. And, this could be family, it could be friends, it could be you. And, and I believe that, your child is going to be that way for others that they care about and that they love as well. Like their relationships with the people who really matter are really going to run deep for them and are going to be really important to them. It's going to be a huge impact, something that's very helpful for them. But you know what? Even through all this, they're going to find optimism. Like, I love this because, there's definitely some wounding and healing that's going to happen in your child's life. But even through all of that, they're going to remain optimistic. They're going to, have exuberance. They're going to have youthfulness. Like, this is stuff that's not going to age them. You think about when people go through things and, like it could be a few years that go by and all of a sudden, they got like a full head of gray hair or something like that. That's not going to happen to your child. They're going to go through stuff. And then, when they're like 40, 50 years old, people are going to think that, they're still in their 30s or something. So, they're going to just, thrive off of whatever they've gone through. And it's going to, it's going to make them so much stronger. We also have self-expression, diversity, and pride. So when I see this card, number one, it's possible that your child could actually wind up being gay or a lesbian, or, I know there's so many different like titles to all these different kinds of sexuality that's out there nowadays, and I don't even know all of them, but it's possible that your child could wind up being one of these. And if they are, that could explain some of the wounding and healing that they go through. They could wind up facing a lot of judgment and criticism and ridicule for, basically being different in a sense like that. But even if they're not, even if, they're straight as an arrow, they're still going to be full of self-expression. I feel like this is definitely representing that they're going to have a very colorful personality, a very colorful attitude towards life. And if anything, they're going to embrace diversity. They're going to embrace the differences between people, whether they're gay, straight, black, white, man, woman, young, old, rich, poor, it doesn't matter. They're going to embrace people's differences. They're not going to be like this judgmental person whatsoever. And they're going to be abundant. Abundance, fertility, and expansion. So, like I said, you guys, they may go through these tough times, but they're going to come out of them. And when they do, they're going to flourish and they're going to thrive. It's like getting double for your trouble. They may go through a lot, but they are going to get like double the amount of hell that they went through. They're going to get so much better on the other side of that. So it's really going to be made up for them quite a big difference, which is amazing. So, your child is going to go through a lot, but they're still going to have an amazing outcome. They're going to have an amazing story. I feel they're going to be very inspirational to others that may be going through stuff as well. And I know that you're going to be there and help them and be supportive of them through the good times and the bad. Blessed are they that hear the word of God and keep it. And I do believe that your child is going to be connected with God. They're going to hear that word. They're going to keep it. It's kind of like, even in this picture here, we have a picture of Jesus and a child. And it's like, I feel like that's the kind of connection that your child is going to actually have with God. Like, this is actually your child, sitting there with Jesus. They're going to have this beautiful connection with one another. Okay, before we wrap this up, I am going to ask the pendulum a couple of questions here. I feel like it's getting darker outside and my natural light is quickly fading, and I don't want to have to turn on like all these other not so natural lights before then. So we're going to get through this, but I feel like you guys can still see it pretty well. All right, so we are going to ask the pendulum, and I'm going to stay pretty quiet while we're waiting for the answer to come through, because I don't want to influence the pendulum by speaking. So we're going to ask for pile number 4, are they going to have any children? All right, you guys, we got a yes. Yes, you will. We will have children. All right, second question. For pile number 4, how many children will they have? Give us a number, please. I wonder if you guys can hear my neighbors walking around upstairs, because I can totally hear it. I don't know if it comes up on the video or not. I'm sure you just heard my air conditioning kick in. Okay, we've got 2. We're settling in on 2, so you guys are going to have 2 kids. So the one that just came through, it could be just about 1 child, or these qualities could be a combination of talking about both children. So, you know, once again, take it as it resonates. Now we're going to get into the little container of paper tags and just pull a few of these really quick to get any more clues, any more hints, any more keywords that we need to know dealing with your future child or children. What do we need to know here? All right, you guys. We have spring. So your child could be born during the springtime, or you may get pregnant in the springtime to have this baby. And we have money. Interesting. So money could be a factor dealing with this child. Maybe money is important to this child. Maybe your child is going to make a lot of money. Maybe they're going to be very successful in their business. So money's definitely there. We have Scorpio, so your child could be a Scorpio. And fitness, so I feel like health is going to be very important to your child. You know, they may be someone who, you know, really enjoys, you know, just like running and doing like really busy outdoor activities when they're growing up. They could be heavily involved with sports or something like that as a child growing up and in school and everything. But fitness is going to be important to them. Maybe they'll be a fitness instructor. Who knows? We have Pisces coming through. So your child could be a Pisces. And we have children. So, well, yeah, that's kind of what we're asking about here. So, but since it says children, I think that definitely implies, yeah, you're going to have more than one. Not just like one child. We also have travel, so I feel like your kid is going to enjoy traveling, you know, whether it's by air or by car. You know, they're definitely going to enjoy taking little vacations. You guys are like the 3rd group I've had where travel has come out for this kid, so all these kids love traveling apparently. And months, so, you know, you could get pregnant in months, you could wind up having a baby in months. Just something in months dealing with this child. And finally, adventure, which makes sense with travel. I feel like travel and adventure kind of go hand in hand, you know. They're probably going to like taking adventures, traveling everywhere. But yeah, they're going to be adventurous and want to explore the world. And summer. So we had spring and summer. So, you know, it's possible that you could have this baby in the summer or get pregnant in the summer, or maybe, you know, it's going to be like late spring, early summer kind of a thing. You know, it could be like early June or something like that. So yeah, that's kind of what I see going on with you guys. I'm going to wrap this video up because it is getting dark as all heck in here. And it feels so much darker to me than it does like looking on the camera, but I do need to wrap this up because I don't want it to get any more darker, and it's getting crazy dark. Anyway, if this message made sense for you guys, please let me know. Leave a comment down below. But if the message did not flow, of course, just let it go. Otherwise, please leave this video a big thumbs up for me. That definitely helps me out a lot. And feel free to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know of future videos when they are on the way. Otherwise, I hope you guys have an amazing day. Keep sparkling. I am sending you lots of hugs and much love.